Previously on Tomb Raider: The Last Revelation. And now we're going to end the level. And the best way, and the proper way to end this level is you want to aim at the exterior right there, and then you just want to do a swan dive. And with that, the adventure continues. Welcome back, everyone, to the Tomb Raider Marathon. I am Jonathan Wolf, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be starting the second half of the game by going into Alexandria, which is the first section of the Alexandria, or the first level of the Alexandria section of the game. So yes, we are finally at the halfway point of the game, and this is, what, episode 4? No, episode 4. Oh my god. No, it's, I want to say it's episode 9? Wait, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, this is episode 9 of Tomb Raider 4. So yeah, in video number 9, we're already at the halfway point. Although, to be fair, if I did every level, or if I dedicated one video to every level, this game would take me much longer. Especially considering that some levels will take me, give or take, 5 minutes, in the worst case. Okay, so in the black void, right here, we got some scorpions. And then we want to light a flare, because in this area, we have a small med pack. Alright, and then we want to go over here to up the stairs, and we're going to go into the main room of this level. And this guy, we're going to be in this fountain, and what this guy's going to do is he's going to go inside this building, and he's going to call for some backup. See, I'm just going to let him do it just because I want to kill everyone. So yeah, let's call this guy. And there we go. And yeah, that's basically all the enemies in this starting room as we begin this level. Oh, wait, never mind. There's another one. Somewhere. Where are you? There you are. And there you died. Okay, so, yeah, another reason why I didn't want to do, like, one level per video is because if I did this level in this video, it would take me probably 7 minutes to beat. And, yeah, I don't want to have videos lasting, as long as City did in Tomb Raider 3. We're for the long run here, boys. Okay, so right here in this little alley, there is some shotgun shells with a bike, and trust me, this bike is gonna be a cause of pain and misfortune in a later section, and you'll see what I mean if you've never played this game. Alright, but basically the way you have to go is we want to go through this door, and as soon as we go up these stairs, we're going to get a cutscene with our good friend, Yves. So let's enjoy this cutscene.
Lara, you are alive. I feared for you. What's...
Von Croy has the amulet.
Ah, this is bad. But he doesn't yet have the armor. There is still time to prepare for set.
Jean, I'm tired. Give a girl a break.
My dear, when all this is over, you can retire. But now we must move swiftly. My men dive in the bay for remnants of Cleopatra's lost palaces.
Cleopatra?
Yes. She realized the armor's significance and had it brought here. Some was subsequently scattered, but...
And where would you recommend I start looking?
In the Catacombs under Alexandria. My diggers have unearthed chambers connected to the Great Library. This would hold the true location of Cleopatra's palaces. We have yet to find a way in, but you...
Take me there.
There is a problem.
Von Croy.
Yes. His dig is expanding, crossing many of my own tunnels. Of course, my men would no longer work when Von Croy's thugs appeared on the scene.
Time to introduce myself to Werner's loyal workforce.
First, you must get into the catacombs. Von Croy has them completely sealed up, and I fear he will soon have the armor.
Over my dead body.
This I fear also. I shall wait here for news. Return if you feel I can help in any way. Good luck, Clara. I fear you may need it.
I make my own luck.
Yeah, you tell him, Laura. Okay, so as you saw in that cutscene, Johnny's gonna stay there, just lounging around. And yeah, in Johnny's office, there are a couple items we can get. So between these two bookshelves, we have some shotgun shells. And right near the entrance, which is over there, we have this desk with some shotgun shells, normal crossbow bolts, and a new item, which is a laser sight. So yeah, we can actually attach this thing to... Yes, Laura, we can actually attach this thing to a gun and actually have some improved accuracy. Alright, I'm going to take my Uzis because we're going to have two ninjas. So let's kill them real quick. And then I'm going to switch back to my Shoddy. Because we got to fight one... Actually, no, we got to fight two more of these guys. But they're going to be close quarters. Now, the second guy we killed dropped some Uzi clips. And the first guy doesn't drop anything. Yeah, he doesn't drop anything. Okay, now you may notice that wall lever. And we can actually go ahead and pull it. If we jump over here and go around this corner, which is the first time that the going around corners is actually required, if you want to get 100%, if you want to get all the secrets, by pulling this lever, you're gonna open a door inside, or you're gonna open a passageway inside this building, or inside this house. Now, as soon as you enter, to the left, there's gonna be a guy. So let's kill him real quick. And in here we can get the one and only secret in the Alexandria level. And this secret contains a large med pack, some normal crossbow bolts, and yeah, two pickups of normal crossbow bolts. Okay, so as soon as we finish with John Yves, the way to go is in between these two buildings. So yeah, this is the building where we got the secret, and this is the building where we fought some ninjas before the John Yves cutscene. Now, as soon as we come over here, there's going to be another ninja. And this is the last ninja we have to fight pretty much for the rest of the video. So that's awesome. Okay, and here we're going to get a transition into the Coastal Ruins, which is the next level of the game. Okay, so here we are in the Coastal Ruins, and I guess I should mention that when you leave Alexandria, you should have 44 out of 70 secrets. And as you can see, we're now in the Coastal Ruins. So instead of going forward, I'm going to go back. And the reason I'm going to do this is because if you paid attention on that cutscene with Jean-Yves, he said that if we needed help, we can return to him and actually get some advice. Well, it turns out that there are 4 bonus cutscenes that you can actually watch if you go back to Jean-Yves at certain points during the Alexandria chapter. So basically, the first cutscene is you want to enter the next area, which is Coastal Ruins, but do not enter a key area in that level. So yeah, I'm just gonna go back and forward, and then we're gonna go back to Jean-Yves, and not get the cutscene. Okay, maybe I should go forward into the level. So let's do that. I'm gonna cut ahead a little bit. Okay, so let's just continue on a bit. Let's just run around for a second. And yeah, as you can see, right over there we got a lot of passageways. And yeah, you'd be like, okay, so where do we go? Well, once we get around this point, what I'm gonna do is I think now we will trigger the cutscene with Jean-Yves. So let's see. I'm gonna cut ahead a little bit. So yeah, once we enter the coastal ruins, let's go back to Jean and let's see if we actually trigger this cutscene. If it doesn't happen, I might as well just show a video, but well, let's see. There we go.
More information, oui? I believe some of the armor could be here in the town. A local collector had a small exhibition and was rumored to own a piece. It's hard to say if this is true. The man was a fool. A while back, he vanished, leaving the exhibition boarded up. So, if Von Croy hasn't got to it, perhaps this would be the place to begin.
Alright, so yeah, basically we have to investigate an exhibition which is located in the coastal ruins. And yeah, basically you will trigger this cutscene if you enter coastal ruins, but you do not enter this exhibition first. Because yeah, if you enter the exhibition, then you're not going to be able to watch that cutscene. Okay, so now that we got that, let's go ahead and return to the coastal ruins and do and explore said exhibition. Okay, so in coastal ruins, as soon as we get into this open area, what we want to do is we want to enter over here to the right. And over here we can get the Egyptian adventure. No, don't use the pistols, Laura. What is wrong with you? Alright. And yeah, basically the first cutscene will trigger if you do not enter, if you enter coastal ruins, but you do not enter the Egyptian adventure. But yeah, once we trigger it, let's go into the Egyptian adventure, which is a exhibition, I guess. I mean, Von Croy. Jean-Yves mentioned it, so yeah, we got this. Oh my God, it's scary! Kill it! And there we go. Okay, so in this area, we have a lot of directions we can go. You can go down there. However, if you do so, you're gonna die because there's actually a shooting target, a shooting challenge that you have to complete. However, yeah, we don't have an easy way to complete it. So instead, we're gonna go and break this this wooden planks, and we're gonna go into this room. Okay, so this room, you may notice that if you look at the floor, you see that the floor is normal. However, if you look at the reflection in the mirror, you may notice that we have these spike traps that if you get near them, you're gonna get impaled. So yeah, you want to be careful where you step on. So yeah, basically what you want to do is you want to maneuver yourself through them while using the reflection in the mirror so they don't get hit. And as you may notice, there's actually an item over there in the corner. And yeah, basically now we have to make this jump. Now remember, similar to that one puzzle in Tomb of Set, if you are jumping from the edge, the game will sometimes register Lara interacting with the tile in front of her. So, meaning that if you jump from, let's say, right here, if I do a standing jump, if I do a forward standing jump, I will kill the spikes will emerge and I will die. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stand on the middle-ish of the tile and then just do a forward jump. And even though it's not on the even though this item is not in the real world, we can still pick it up, and we can claim the crossbow, which is the best weapon in Tomb Raider 4. Now the crossbow, we can also combine it with a laser sight, and we can by pressing the look button, we can actually aim down the sights. And as you can see, we have a first-person mode. Now, while in this mode, by pressing the crouch button, we can actually zoom in, and by pressing the sprint button, we can actually zoom out. And this might be very important for future puzzles. Okay, so I'm in the middle-ish, so let's go ahead and jump. And just to see real quick if it's a straight path. Okay, yeah, it is, but just in case. And yeah, basically just go back to the ladder or the stairs, and there we go. Okay, so now that we got the crossbow with the laser sight, now we want to drop down here. Now, I recommend you save your game because now we got to do some target practice. We have to break the targets. So let's go ahead and go. So let's go ahead and do this. And yeah, basically, for this part, you are timed. However, if you want to be boring, just aim at the sight, aim a bit high, and then shoot. And as you can see, with one explosive bolt, we will destroy all the targets. And yeah, basically, like I mentioned, if you're not quick, this trapdoor will actually break away, and you will die. Now, by breaking all the targets, we're gonna get a coin from this thing, which, man, now I get why this place closed up, because, you know, we got this attraction that if you fail, you're basically dead. You have to give up your life. Like, my God. And I thought crane machines were rigged. Good Lord. Okay, and once we get that coin, we want to go back to this hallway right here. And then we want to go to the opening on the end over here, which is the opening to the left. And in this area, we have a receptacle for the token. So let's go ahead and watch a snake charmer show. That sucked. I want a refund. Okay, I'm gonna prepare the normal shot just for a future fight. But what this guy did is we actually now have this rope, or that we can actually use as a pole. And up in this room, we can actually grab a stick. But not only that, if we take a look at these hooks on the wall, you may notice that the one on the left has a different color, and it's also a bit sticking out. Well, that is because you can actually use the crowbar to pry this hook, which you can combine with the stick to create the hook and pull.
No.
Yes, Laura, it is a hook and pull. Alright, and now, once we got that, what you want to do is you want to go over here to the right, and then we want to go up these stairs. And as we can see over here, in this little covey area or cabinet area, we have some keys, and this is where the hook and pull goes, or this is where we can actually use the hook and pull. What was up with the scary music? I don't get it. Okay, so you may notice that Lara will put away the hook and pull. However, if we check our inventory, yeah, you will see that the hook and pull is gone. So, yeah, what gives? Why did you put it away when you're gonna throw it away? However, you may also notice that we don't have the keys that we got with the hook and pull. And that is because, as you saw in the cutscene, Lara did toss them. In fact, the keys are right here. So yeah, you want to make sure you pick them up before you leave. And these keys are what we need to get into the catacombs. And with that, we are pretty much done with the Egyptian adventure. So now we can leave and head into the next area. Now before we do that, once we finish everything in the Egyptian adventure, we can actually return to Jean to get another cutscene. So let's go and meet with Jean and see what he has to say. So yeah, like I mentioned, there's a total of 4 cutscenes we can have with Yves, and this is the second and the last cutscene we're gonna see in this video. We're not gonna see the next cutscene until the next video. So yeah, with that said, let's just go ahead and go back to Jean. And as you can see, he's right there with the books. So let's go ahead and talk to him.
Lara, I've been doing some reading, and it is highly probable that some of the armor is hidden down in the catacombs themselves. But you must take care. Word of Von Croy's men fleeing the tunnels has reached me. Set separations have begun to move into the city, gathering at the ancient sites. You must hurry and find the library.
Okay, so now we have to go into the catacombs and find the library, which, yeah, I don't understand how we got into a library in this talk of catacombs, but whatever. Okay, and yeah, this is the last time we're going to return to Alexandria, for now at least, or at least in this video. So now we can finally just stay in the coastal ruins and, yeah, just have a lot of fun. And yeah, that's actually one thing I want to mention, and that's the fact that every time we go through these loading screens, we are going to get our health refilled. And that's actually something I want to avoid. Unless it's absolutely necessary to continue on with the game, I will not exploit a load screen to refill my health. And that is something I will stand for when it comes to this area and the next area. Especially the next area of the game, because, oh boy. Anyone who's played Tomb Raider 4 may know exactly what comes up next. Okay, so right here we got a fork in the road, and here we want to go to the doorway on the right, because this will lead us to, well, the next area. Oh, man. Alright. Okay, so here we got this pool, and then we want to not be on this side, but be on this side. Also, I'm going to prepare the crossbow. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to make a standing jump for this crawl space. And then we're going to go, and then we're going to move on into the next area. Okay, and right next to this pillar, we have a ladder. And yeah, I did not know that the John Eve cutscenes were actually a thing until I saw a review of this game, like, I want to say 6 years ago, 5 years ago. So, yeah, it was quote-unquote recent when I discovered about these cutscenes. Okay, so now we go outside, and now we're going to see why this level is called the Coastal Ruins. Very awesome location, and I'm actually very interested how this looks in the remastered version. Because yeah, like I mentioned, I haven't played the remastered version since I wanted to focus more on playing this game. Plus, I don't like to practice games before doing a playthrough of them or before recording. The only exception where I break the rule was games that I'm not familiar with, like Metroid on NES, or games or to be more specific, guide games like Metroid on NES. And when I eventually get to it, the first Zelda game, and even the second Zelda game. Okay, so in this large area, there are multiple ways you can go there are multiple places you can go. The correct way to go is over there. However, if you want some items, we want to go over here, which is taking a hard left as soon as you enter this area. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to jump up here to get some crossbow bolts. And I think these are normal type. Yes, they are normal type crossbow bolts. And as we run around in here... Yeah, check this out. We got a Skelly boy. Now, I'm going to get my crossbow and I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to... Oh, wait. It's not working. Wait, hang on. Let me... stand over here in this tile. Okay, now let's use the laser sight. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. Yeah! Headshot. And yeah, as you can see, we can actually destroy the face of the skellies. And if you do that, they're just gonna run around like a headless chicken, which is awesome. Okay, so right over here we have this gate, and this gate is basically a return path from another port area in the game. So we're not gonna touch that. Instead, we're just gonna continue on. And now we're gonna drop into this water, because in this water there are some grenades. However, trying to get out after picking them up can be very difficult. In fact, I'm going to save my game because this part can be pretty awkward, especially considering that because this game has a lot of PS1 jank more than the last 3 games. Getting stuck here is going to be very easy to do. So yeah, let's go ahead and just jump into the water. And basically, there is, this opening right here, which has some grenades. And these are normal grenades. And, wow, that was actually much easier than I thought. Although, yeah, as you can see, I'm getting stuck, which means that I cannot move. Lara, why are you turning by yourself? Okay. Okay, that was not as bad, but still, as you saw right there, I was getting stuck by the geometry, which, yeah, it's the fact that that didn't happen in the last 3 games that much is kind of concerning. And yeah, look at this guy, just running around like a headless chicken. It's awesome, and he's not going to attack you even if you touch him. So. Yeah, we're just gonna leave this guy be. All right, and then we're gonna go into this room, and now we're gonna fight 2 of them, unless one of them fails to do basic platforming. And no, they didn't. Okay, let's see. 1, 2. Okay. Okay, so skeleton. So these skelly boys are completely invincible. You cannot kill them unless you do one of 2 things. The first one being, of course, shoot them with explosives. But the second one, which is honestly my favorite way of doing it, is to just shoot them off a cliff. And you'll see how we do that in the next video. Because yeah, this is the last time we're gonna fight these skelly boys. Alright, so I'm going to go to where the skellies are, because up here, there is some items. We got some white shot shotgun shells and a small med pack. Alright, and once we pick them up, let's go ahead and drop down. And now we have to do a lot of back and forward. And also, I guess I should mention this real quick. So, remember in Desert Railroad where I mentioned that grenades can actually do damage to you? Well, yeah, for some reason, the explosive crossbow bolts do not do damage to you, which I have no idea why that's the case, but you know what? I'm not going to complain. Maybe that's why I love using the crossbow that much, because it doesn't hurt me in the long run. Okay, so now, the way we have to go is through that crawl space over there. However, there's this huge rock that is going to try to squish you. Now, there are 2 ways you can actually drop this rock. The first one is to stand on that tile and get off immediately before this thing drops. Or the more safer way is you want to grab this stick and light it up. And by the way, make sure you do not get near this thing, otherwise you will be set on fire. And once you have this torch lit, we want to go where this rope is, and then we want to jump. So yeah, let's toss this thing. And then let's watch some magic happen. Yeah, look at that. Okay, now you also want to be very careful, because if you touch that rock as it's moving, it will count as being a boulder and you will die. It will instantly kill you, so you want to be very careful. Okay, and now we have a little crawl space. And yeah, this is actually one thing I really don't like. It's like, why do they put these crawl spaces that are like 1 tile long? I don't get it. But in this door, we can actually use the crowbar. And we can actually open this secret door. And this area will take us to the next level, which is the Catacombs. Actually, I'm doing this wrong. I have to go up first. Yeah, I just remembered. Okay. We're not gonna go here yet. Instead, we are gonna go back up. Yeah, I completely forgot about this because now this part, for this next part of the level, we have to do a lot of back and forward, which is honestly pretty annoying because we have to go through like a bunch of loading screens. In the best case, and by that I mean if you do the minimal screen transitions or level transitions, we have to go through 5 loading screens between this level and the next level. So yeah, we're gonna just go over here. So yeah, we're just gonna go back up, and we're basically gonna go to where the skellies spawned in. So yeah, we're gonna go over here. And this door is where the key that we got from the Egyptian adventure goes. So let's use this bad boy, and then let's go into the Catacombs. And oh boy, this level is gonna be very, very interesting when we get to it. However, I'm not going to do this level in this video. We're actually gonna do it next video. Okay, so in this area, we have this door over here. And basically, in order to open this door, we have to move this guy into this tile that is right here, this tile that I'm standing on. And maybe thinking, okay, so I'm just going to move it and we'll be fine. However, as soon as you step on this ground, the ground is going to sink, and it's going to prevent you from pulling this pillar right here. So, yeah, basically what we have to do is we have to find a way to make it so that this floor does not sink. So what you want to do is you want to go over here and press this button. And what this button is going to do is going to raise a platform that is going to allow us to move a pillar that is directly underneath us. So I don't know if I can show it, but it's actually down there. Yeah, I don't think you can see it, but it's down there. And now that we got that, now we have to go back to Coastal Ruins, and now we have to go into that area that I was originally going to go into, where we used the crowbar on that door. All right, so here we go. Load screen number 2. Let's go. And yeah, this part in the PC version is not that bad because the load screens are like a second. They last like a second, so it's not the end of the world. Okay, so now we want to drop down. And then now we want to go over here. And yeah, this is the first case of the game, and this is the first case in this game where you're going to see a lot of level transitions, which I'm just gonna say right now, this is not even the worst aspect of this, because the worst is yet to come. Trust me on that, because oh boy, when we get to the next area, we're gonna have load screen the video game. Not to mention that the next area is, without question, the worst part of the game. And you'll see what I mean when we get to it. Okay, so right over here, as you can see, we're now underneath the dropping floor. And basically what we want to do is we want to move this support pillar. We only have to move it once. And basically, by putting it on this tile, we now have the ability to move that pedestal out of that area, so now we can actually go and truly enter the Catacombs area, which is awesome. So yeah, we have yet another loading screen. That is awesome. I wonder how fast the load screens will be in the remaster, because yeah, something that I've noticed every time I replay the remasters, and this applies to Tomb Raider 1, 1, 2, 3. But when I first boot up the games, the load screens tend to last a bit longer. However, when I keep playing on the same session, they last like nothing. So I wonder if that's the case with Tomb Raider 4 as well. And yeah, that first secret that we got in Alexandria, that is the only secret in this entire video. However, the secrets are coming up in the next level, so don't you worry about that. So yeah, basically, before we end this, you should have 44 secrets before you truly enter the catacombs. Now, we're not gonna end this video yet. Instead, I'm gonna get to a specific point before we stop the recording. Okay, so let's pull this guy once. And then we have to push this guy all the way to the end.
Uh-huh.
And if you think this is boring, then oh boy, get ready for a level coming up, because there's a pretty infamous level when it comes to this game in terms of movable objects. And yeah, anyone who's played this game know exactly what I'm talking about. Which is also, in my opinion, the hardest level to do without using a med pack.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we got it one more time. And there we go. Now, as soon as you push this... Now, as soon as you get the block into the final resting place, we're going to spawn a wind spirit. Or, I think it's called a wraith, actually. But basically, for this guy, we want to... as soon as you enter this next room, we want to go straight ahead. And then we want to go into this thing right here, because this totem will actually kill this wraith, as you can see right there. And yeah, basically, that's the way to kill these wind spirits. And yeah, I'm just going to call them wind spirits because that sounds cooler. Okay, I do not want to be here because that jar has killed me so many times trying to grab this pole. So yeah, now let's go ahead and walk off and grab the pole. And let's slide all the way to the bottom. And as we go through here, we're going to see this lever. We're going to get locked in. And the ground's going to shake. Oh my god, it's so terrifying. However, but as we pull this lever, we're going to see that, yeah, we're now moved from the normal path. But here we have probably the most infamous part of Tomb Raider 4, and that is the double rope swing from the catacombs. And yes, we have to swing from that rope to that rope without dying or without failing, because otherwise we're gonna die. And you know what? I'm gonna save my game because we are going to stop this video right here, because yes, next time we meet on the Tomb Raider marathon, we're gonna be tackling the Catacombs level as well as the next level, which is the Temple of Poseidon. Now, why is Poseidon in Egypt? I don't know, but I guess we'll find out later. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching this episode of Tomb Raider 4. I'm gonna leave the statistics just to show you. And yeah, next time we're gonna be tackling the Catacombs and Temple of Poseidon. But until then, this is Jonathan Wolf, and I will see you all in the next video. Take it easy, everyone.